Hello, everybody, wherever you may be, from coast to coast and sea to shining sea. Welcome back to the World's Radio Show, Ham Radio Live. Thank you so much for coming today. Thanks for subscribing. Appreciate it very much. It does help people find the channel on YouTube that just might have an interest in ham radio and getting into our hobby. How about that? A big show for you today, and I mean a very, very big show. We're going to talk about ALC. We're going to talk about Field Day. We're going to talk about antennas. We got so much in this show that it just may blow your eyeballs out. You might even just say, oh my gosh, I need to watch this a second time. Or you might not like it. And if you don't like it, please don't tell anybody, okay? Bad publicity doesn't let the channel grow, so don't do that, okay? That's not a good thing. Oh my gosh. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It is June 23rd. Welcome back to the Shack in Oregon. It is great to see you guys. Happy Wednesday. Hey, guess what? Look, the new computer came. This is so cool. This is like it. It's like it. I'm like, wow, it's here. So we're just waiting to get it all set up. Yes, it was kind of a tough one, so we weren't able to get it done. But we're excited to get it on because it's going to make things so much faster and less stream drops. And it's going to be like, I don't know, like a, kind of like a real show again. Who knows? Like it works. It's going to be great. So, yep, that'll be fun. Before we start and say hi to everybody, there's so much to talk about today that I'm so excited to share with you. I really want y'all to get into ham radio. That is so important to me. It really is. That's why the channel exists. There are many ways to get yourself into this hobby, and many people just don't know how to start, right? Okay, so any one of these radio groups can help you. They're national organizations, but they do have the ability to find a local club that's as close to you as possible to help guide you. Yeah, they'll help you with your test, maybe even get you a chance to, if you find a club, work one of their radio gears to, the radio stations to be able to work it, see if you like it. How cool is that? The first step is contacting somebody around the world to help you get into ham radio. The first one is the American Radio Relay League. You can find them online at www.arrl.org. If you're over in Japan, the Japan Amateur Radio League is there, and they'll help you out big time. Good people there at www.jarl.org. In Great Britain, our mates over there do a great job, and those guys are really organized too. Huge increase in ham radio licenses in the UK in the last 12 months. Fantastic. Keep up the good work, Radio Society Great Britain. Find them online at www.rsgb.org. Radio Society of Canada is available up there up north. Find them at www.rac.ca. For our mates down under, the Wireless Institute of Australia is available at www.wia.org. If you'd like to contact the show, have a show suggestion, maybe a comment, maybe you'd like to ask a question about, what radio is better, this one or that one. I probably won't tell you because really the choice is yours, but I can at least tell you what, if I know anything about either one, what I liked about it, okay? Hit me up on the internet. My email address is cqhamradiolive@gmail.com. If you'd like to help support the channel, keep it going, keep it healthy, and help me with the production costs and also the cost of replacing things when they break, it would be great because it helps the channel to continue and help to spread the word about amateur radio and help it grow. Please hit us up either on PayPal at cqhamradiolive@gmail.com. That's my PayPal address there, and people around the world have helped. In fact, I'll be honest with you, people from 4 continents in 4 days paid for that computer right there to keep this channel going. That's no lie. That's no lie. So that's why we call it the World's Radio Show. It's because that computer will power the show. So thanks to everyone who've done that. But we do need people to help keep it going for the cost to continue to come up here. For example, I got a mic exciter that's off for months because it's just broke and I haven't had the money to fix it. So if you'd like to help, you can do there, or you can do so also on Patreon. Patreon has a link there at Ham Radio Live. Speaking of the internet, by the way, you can find us now on Facebook, have a Ham Radio Live Facebook page, and if you have an Alexa View, just say to Alexa, Alexa, play Ham Radio Live on YouTube, and guess what? She's going to play it for you. It's like I'm something special or something. Not. Anyway, let's get some welcomes in. First, from halfway around the world, which totally blows me away. He gets Gunter music because he's first in, and anybody that comes in first should get the big-time music. Ladies and gentlemen, from Bahrain in the Middle East, Tom is here. His call sign in the U.S., Alpha Echo 1 Tango Papa. In Bahrain, Alpha 92 Golf Whiskey, Tom. My friend, always great to see you. Thank you so much for coming to today's show. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Andy Cowley from the UK has made our show complete. Andy, it's never a good show without you coming. Thank you for being here. I know it's an early start today, but there's a lot in this show, and I'm so excited to show you this. I really am. Martin, hi there, buddy. Papa Echo 9, Tango India Golf, my mate that does the night shift all the time and watches the show. Morning DJ of the WOL. Jeez. Chapin, hi. Good to see you, Martin, always, man. You're awesome. Make me laugh. It's great. My brother Bob downstairs. Hi, Bob. He had a long day yesterday. 6 hours of cancer treatment. Oh, my gosh. That poor guy. And he keeps a good attitude. Bob, keep it up, man. Keep fighting. You're doing good, and we're so grateful that you're alive. I know I am, and I'm so grateful you're here. So, Bob, thank you. It's truly an honor and privilege to have you here. Jeff is here from, wonderful friends up in Canada. Check it out. He's repping Canada. Victor Echo 3, WWJ. Beep, beep to you, sir. JJ Jeff, welcome from Canada. Thank you for being here. Joe McConaughey, this is great. Alpha Golf 7 X-Ray Hotel. Borrowing a little bit of Scott's stuff. Hi, Larry, from the top of North Mountain in Darrington, Washington. Joe, welcome. Nice to have you, man. Wow. Beautiful area up there. Man, if you've ever been, there's a great place in north central Washington around Christmas time. It's called Leavenworth. Leavenworth was rated the Travel Channel's #1 Christmas destination in the entire world. I've had the chance, I think, to spend 7 Christmas periods there. Not Christmas Day, but, before. Oh my gosh. Leavenworth Christmas. If you just look it on the internet, it'll blow your mind. It's the most phenomenally quaint, beautiful thing in the world. And it's set in something that looks like the Alps. So Joe certainly lives in a beautiful area. Hi, Rod. Welcome, buddy. I'm not that special. I'm just doing a YouTube channel, dude. But thank you very much. Kilo 7 Lima Alpha Papa. It's great to have you, buddy. See, Rod and I are working on being field day mates. We're going to, I think we're going to the beach, Rod. I think we're heading west. 100 degrees on Saturday forecast, 102 for Sunday. That's really, and anyone says it's a dry heat, I'm sorry, but that's just not it. You can't get away with it when they say it's a dry heat. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Let's get in the news real quick. Frederick Schaffen is alive and well on your computer. Yes, it is. You can go through the fairgrounds in 2D and see all the vendors, find out about different products, have all kinds of information. It's going to be really cool. Coming up this weekend, yes, 25th through the 27th, and it's going to be great. People from around the world can take part in this. Just find it on your computer. Find it on the DARC website. Also, of course, it's Field Day week, ladies and gentlemen, here on the channel. So we're celebrating ARRL Field Day, the good old folks there in Connecticut. ARRL Field Day comes up on the 26th and 27th, so Saturday, Sunday. Good time to take your radio out on the road and show people what ham radio is really about. Now, this is kind of an older ad, but the point of it is still as important. You can help the American Radio Relay League on Amazon when you buy stuff, right? So if you buy it on Amazon Smile, one of the things they'll ask you is, what's the charity you'd like to donate 0.5% of your purchase to? Then 0.5% is going to go to that charity. Pick the American Radio Relay League, and they'll get a little bit. They'll get 0.5% of what you bought, and it'll help them to continue their work in amateur radio. So great stuff there. Please do that if you shop Amazon. That's pretty good stuff. Also, you might have received an email recently from the American Radio Relay League asking if, your mailing address, is valid. If this is actually legitimate, okay? This isn't one of those scam things. It's an effort to keep the records up to date. American Radio Relay League emailed Life members back on the 16th of June, just asking them to verify their mailing address, okay? So please understand that there is some concern if this is real. It is, okay? If you'd like to call the American Radio Relay League just to tell them, yep, my mail's fine, contact them at 860-594-0200 or email them at membership@arrl.org to respond to that email. Remember this? 3YOJ. It was done for. It was over. It was kaputski. Well, not so fast, varmint. It's not done yet. The Daily DX reported that the 3YOJ DXpedition team is still hoping to have a go at the island of Beauvais. This is the second most difficult DX island in the world to get. The second, right behind North Korea. The DXpedition team has planned to travel to Beauvais. They planned it to do, back in 2022, so next year. They were going to do it via the RV Braveheart, which is owned by Nigel Jolly, whose call sign is Kilo 6 November Romeo Juliet. Since the cancellation of 3Y0J, we've been working closely with Nigel Jolly to form a new plan with the new owner of Braveheart and a revised payment plan that enables Nigel Jolly to continue managing Braveheart, and it will keep it available for DXpeditions for years to come. How about that? Isn't that something? Oh my gosh, that's great stuff. Now, this is really neat. Paul Ewing, who's the leader of the DXpedition, his call sign is November 6, Papa Sierra Echo, said, "We're working out the details of this plan and hope to have some very positive news very soon. We have not given up." So earlier this month, they talked about this DXpedition not working out because the boat needed to be sold. Now, looks like there is some hope. American Radio Relay League announces a partnership with Meglite. That's pretty cool, the flashlight company, right? So American Radio Relay League and Meglite together have got together with a partnership. And this includes something cool for you. Check this out. At the bottom of this, Meglite is offering a special giveaway in recognition of 2021 ARRL Field Day, and no purchase is necessary. Visit Meglite on the web for entry details and terms and conditions. And that's the email address right there. Sorry, the web address right there. What I'll do is I'll make sure and have that cut and pasted into this description section for the video, okay? Now we get into something that's really, and I mean it's really, really good. Big stuff. You ready? Let's get into the forecast. Coronal holes, none, except for 70 way up top. 63 kind of died away. But take a close look. The sun just kind of looks like, yeah, it's just having a good old warm day up there. Everybody's happy. No one's getting angry or anything. K-index yesterday, you can see on the 21st, we had a spike of a K3, and it just kind of, made things a little loud for an hour or so. K-index today, look at that. We had a little bit of noise yesterday. That K3 went to a K2 for another 6 hours, and then, another 3 hours, and then it went back down, and then it went back up again. Now it's back down to K1. But here is the amazing stuff. Okay, first, Aurora South. The Aurora Borealis, which is called Aurora Australis in the south, you're not going to work it. It's just, there's not enough there to work. Same with the northern lights. So the Aurora Borealis up north, it's barely visible. It really is. So people that like to work Aurora are not going to have a really good chance. But here is the great news. Are you ready? Yesterday, this was the conditions. Remember, I couldn't do a show yesterday, just too busy. SFI was 78. K was 1. A was 4. Solar wind down to 364.9 kilometers per second. Very good. That's great. We love that. Now, take a look at these conditions. Are you ready for this big one? Look at that SFI, folks. Take a look at that. 104. Yeah, that's real. 104. My gosh. A is 7, K is 1. This is the best night for DX in probably 2 years. No kidding. 6 meters will be open for sure. But I'm telling you, the bands are juiced. And if this stays good, we could have an amazing field day. Speaking of the solar numbers coming up, let's take a look at the information from the National Oceanic Oh my gosh. No, I can't even think of it, which is really funny, but yeah, there you go. National Oceanic, and Atmospheric Association Administration. I mean, there we go. Now I got it out. It only took about 6 days, but there you go. The mind's not going very well. But there you go. You kind of see the solar sunspot number, predicted. Okay. Now, we're, of course, 2021-06, right? So, sunspot number 18.3, right? All right. Take a look at the radial flux index for 10.7 SEMS. That's the number we typically use here on the show, and that's also featured over on QRZ, 81. Okay, 81. Now, take a look at the solar peak. Solar peak is actually expected to come up in 2025, okay? The solar peak, it looks like, is going to be happening in July with a predicted number of 124.8, all right? If that's the case, then we're going to have like a number of 144.4 on the SFI numbers. So with us being at 104 right now, this is an incredible opportunity. And I mean an incredible opportunity for you to turn on your ham radio now, today. Use it. Shortwave, ham, yes, today, because this is an amazing opportunity. World noise floors in about 2 hours ago. We'll start in Europe. Pair of 4s in UK. We've got a pair of 4s in Germany as well. S4 on 40 in Russia. We've got an S3 on 20. China. S4 was S5, on 40 meters, S3 on 20. Australia, nice and quiet, S3 on 40, S2 on 20. New Zealand, the same, S3 on 40, S2 on 20. In Japan today, again, just like Australia, very quiet, S3 on 40, S2 on 20. Believe me, these places are going to work DX tonight. They will, because you got low noise floors. Look for calls from them because they're going to have great low noise floors. Farther in the Pacific, in Hawaii, we've got an S4 on 40, S3 on 20. In North America, out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada this morning, S4 on 40, S3 on 20. Out of the state of Missouri today, in the United States, S3 on 40, S3 on 20. South America, we've got an S3 on 40, S2 on 20. Out of Brazil, and in Buenos Aires this morning, pair of 3s, S3 on 40, S3 on 20. Your ham radio forecast, look at that. This is the first time you've ever seen this on this show, ever. This kind of forecast. It's because of the SFI. I know we don't have any MUFs around the world, but the numbers are there. Here's what we got. Daytime, 20 meters, 17, 15, possible 12 and 10. And I don't mean just small openings. I mean, I think you can work them. If people have good towers or people are running power, you'll work 12 and 10 today. Oh, they're going to be just amazing. E-skip openings, possible on 10. Also, UK 6 and 4 meters. I know QRZ said nothing on 4. I think 4 is still okay. Ham nighttime, you're going to have 160s, 80, 75, 60 and 40. They will be noisy and lots of static crashes, but that's just summertime. It's the way it is. 30 meters will be open as well as a 100% chance for SSB tonight on 20 meters. Work east prior to sunset, west after sunset. This is the first day we've had triple digits in 2 years for the SFI, folks. 2 years. First day. So this is a very rare opportunity. Make the most of it. Shortwave on the daytime bands, 31, 25, 22, 19, and 16 meters. Nighttime shortwave, 120. And I've added one, 120, 90, 75, 60, 49, 41, 31, 22, 19, and yes, 16 meters tonight. When you got an SFI that high, the ionosphere is juiced. You'll actually get it. You will. Trivia question today. I told you I'd throw one toward Europe, so let's see if the U.S. can get in before the Europeans can. What is the maximum power UK amateurs can use on a full Class A license? Is it A, 1,500 watts, B, 1,000 watts, C, 400 watts, or D, 500 watts? Put an A, B, C, or D in your answer, and I'll make sure and let you know who's right. So far, we have a tie between continents. We have North America at 5. We also have Europe at 5, and the first ones come in with A, B, C, or D come in with the right answer. And then we get to say who gets the lead today. So we'll see how it goes. And they're piling in. Let's go back. All right, trivia question today. What's the maximum power UK emitters can use on a full Class A license? 1,500 watts is A, 1,000 is B, C is 400, D is 500. First in from Bahrain, but he also has a European, he also lives in Europe, and he also is a U.S. citizen. He guessed C. Tom is right, folks. It is C. 400 watts is actually the answer. He got it right. Now, I got to ask Tom, what's going to be, who does it go to? Because you live in the Middle East, right? But, you've got a U.S. call sign, and you're in Europe. You got a European house, so you got to tell me, where's it at? And look at them piling in now. Lee Rosselli, Whiskey 8, 8 Romeo November, C. Martin from the Netherlands, Pop Echo 9, Tango India Golf, C. Y'all got it right. Doing brilliant. I threw you a softball today, you guys, right? It's Wednesday. Why not? Hey, Scott, welcome. Kilo Charlie 2. Charlie Alpha Delta, yes, C as well. You're right. Thank you. He's going to go with the AE. So now, for the first time, the the North American continent is in first place. It finally happened. Wow. Europe was crushing it, really, and they still will. So the 23rd of June, remember that day? It's the day the U.S. finally caught up. We're going to talk about a trivia question from before today, too, and you'll like it. Today's going to be a fun show, you guys. If you like radio, if you love shortwave and ham, if you love radio in particular, this is going to have an educational segment in it. And I think what really got me after watching last show was Ishmael from Dominica. He had made a comment about adding compression to a radio to bring the signal strength up where he was. And I explained to him, you can't do that. That's not going to work. And then he said something in the comment section that really struck me. It really did. And it stayed with me for 2 days, the last 2 days. He said, okay, teach me. I'm sorry, Ishmael. I didn't, and I should have. And I apologize to you for that. This is what this is about. This channel is about helping people, and I should have handled that better. And I'm sorry. Today we'll work on that for ALC. We'll talk about that, all right? For example, on an ICOM rig, okay? And this is typical 7300, 7610. You see on all of these screens, because the ICOMs can do this. They can show you multiple things, including the temperature, which is kind of cool. The automatic level control circuit governs the signal strength going into the power amplifier in a ham radio transmitter, right? So it keeps the amplifier input in the designed range for linear operation. That means not overmodulating, not creating distortion, okay? You might be tempted to operate at the top of the range for a more powerful signal, but the signal quality may suffer, okay? Depending upon the ALC circuit design and how hard it is driven, okay? Things can change because you change it by the microphone output level and mic gain settings. The ALC circuit can distort the signal and cause interference. Choosing an optimum amount of ALC activity is easy if the radio manufacturer tells you the ideal ALC meter reading, okay? The Elecraft K3, the Flex radios, the Yaesu FTDX 3000D are great examples of those radios that show you how to do it, all right? Now, when it comes to compression, because that's one thing that Ish brought up. And you know what? And I get it. It's totally understandable. Because we think, okay, getting compression helps get you out on a loud band. Ideally, compression increases perceived volume of speech and the average power. However, all right, when you feed too much compression in, you get what's called phase distortion in the radio. It'll trigger the ALC circuit, resulting in minimal improvement in the average power. Right? So when you put in too much compression, the problem is you can overdrive your ALC circuit. And what happens is you're causing distortion or you're causing interference to other stations, which you don't want to do. And if you've ever seen, for example, like an SDR, for example, okay, you've seen one of those SDRs that are, on the, that are on the internet through a computer. And you see some of those signals that have, they have their bar and then they have the shots going way out, okay? that can be a lot of IMD issues. It can be a problem of overmodulation. And a nice clear signal is not only more beautiful to listen to, but it also doesn't harm the people that are near that transmit frequency too. So Ishmael, you have my apology for handling it the way I did. And hopefully this will help you a little bit. We talk about ALC because this is so important because this channel helps to do that. On the FTDX10, let's take a look at the instructions, okay? The instructions laid out pretty well. First thing you do is you adjust mic gain. That's the very first thing you do on the FTDX10. And this goes the same, by the way, for FTDX 101s, whether you have the D or MP. First thing, adjust the mic gain, all right? So you touch the meter display, then touch ALC to select the ACL meter. Then you press the function knob, touch mic gain, and you adjust it, all right? The point is to get it right there where you see the needle setting. See that? Between the white and the blue. Like I told you in the last show, you want it right dead center there between those two. If you're too far over in the blue, you're distorting. It's also known as splatter in ham radio. So you don't want it over in the blue too far, right? Then when you adjust the MC level, you touch the meter display, touch compression, and then you press the function knob, touch the AMC level, activate the transmit, and speak into the microphone. Now, preferably into a dummy load while adjusting the AMC level with the function knob, okay? You adjust AMC to a point where compression meter deflection does not exceed 10 decibels on audio peaks. That's the main point. That's the main point, okay? Speech processor that's in these, it describes them as well in the instructions. This is a really good example of why you open up your instruction manual. So many people today, including myself, get radios and just want to play. You know, it's like a new toy. Hey, let's play. But it's so important to take a look and see. And one of the things that I learned with the FTX10 when I first got this radio was how to properly set it up. Because when I got out of the box, it just didn't seem like it was set right for power. The power deflection meter was terrible. 20 watts. And I mean on peaks. So I knew something was wrong. Went through the instructions, set it up, and everything was fine. Worked brilliantly. So that hopefully will help to explain ALC. All right, ALC on a Kenwood looks like this. If you take a look, it's kind of blurry, but you see how that lower meter there goes. You don't want it to be above that third bar. Anything above the third bar there on the Kenwood is going to be splatter, okay? Same thing on the ICOM. You see the red line there under ALC, all right? That's the area where it's good. No problem at all. But if you go above the red line, that means it's overdriving or you got splatter or IMD problems. So, just a second, sorry. Thank you. Sorry, guys. So that's when you want to make sure and, you know, check your ALC from time to time when you're running your rig. That's an important thing to check on any transceiver that you have. All right, let's check up with you guys in your comments from around the world. It's so good to see you guys. Same as the NL 400 watt from Martin, Pop Echo 9 Tango India Golf. Exactly. Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, right, it was a softball question. Did my best. Kent, thank you, buddy. Kilo Alpha 4. FIX. Always good to see you, man. And that's a nice compliment. You know, I am not the most brilliant person on YouTube that does ham radio. And I don't pretend to be. I just have fun with it. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Kent, that's a nice compliment to me. And I want to take a moment to say thank you. Thanks for that. That's very nice. Hey, Scott's back. Good to see you, buddy. His call sign, Whiskey 8 RBY. I want to personally take a moment, Scott, and apologize for doggone calling you Robbie every time. I always call you Robbie's because your call sign. So, Scott, please forgive me. His call sign is Whiskey 8 Romeo Bravo Yankee. And Scott, it's an honor and privilege to have you here at today's show. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. RTFM. Read the manual. Exactly right. All right. And Cliff is here all the way from from Virginia, Whiskey Delta 4, Oscar Bravo Papa. Cliff, welcome to the show. All right. We got a really cool thing here. I am like geeked up on this. I have 2 pillows by me in my ice bag. It's hard to sit. Otherwise, it could come a little earlier. But today I'm so excited. It's going to be a little longer show. But gosh, I hope you like it. I really do. We talked about this the last show. Remember, the question for the trivia question was the Soviet radar that plagued the HF bands with QRM and a number of years ago. Remember, it was a number of years ago with lots of noise. It kind of sounded like a woodpecker. It was like a tick, 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 tick noise. Okay. And don't ask me to do that again because I really am not good at doing that noise.
We have a big show for you tonight.
But I don't want to ruin it. Okay. So we gave you guys the question. You guys came up with the answer. In fact, it came out of John Hummel Newell out of Saskatchewan, Canada. Victor Echo 5, Juliet Hotel November came up with it. He was right. It was the Russian woodpecker. All right. Now, here's something really interesting. The actual name of this antenna is called the Duga 3. That's actually the name. It's very close to Chernobyl. In fact, wait till you hear how much power from Chernobyl was used just to power this thing. Wait till you see. It's complete. This video is one of the best videos I may have ever shown on this channel that I'm about to show you. And I'm so excited for you to see it because it talks about this incredible antenna and it talks about a little bit about the history of it as well. I really hope you like it. Wendy, by the way, my buddy. Wendy, thanks for coming. It's so good to see you. Whiskey for Lima Sierra. Wendy, it's my honor as always to see you. Thanks for coming to today's show. All right, let's take a close look at the Duga 3, which was also known in HF around the world as the Russian Woodpecker. Enjoy.
Located 12 miles south of Pripyat is the Duga 3 radar receiver, and I've spent a lot of time researching it. Coming up is how this radar works, explained so it's easy to understand and not too serious. It's what the Mr. Matt and Mr. Che channel is all about. Officially, there were only ever 2 radar installations, this being Duga 1, but everyone calls it Duga 3. This is called an over-the-horizon radar system with a transmitter and receiver. This is the receiver. The tower is all about receiving radar signals from the front, and it's helped by these horizontal wires behind it to reflect any signals back at the elements in the white cages at the front. These signals go back to a control room behind the radar with some pretty cool elevators in it. The Chernobyl power station cost 3 billion rubles to build, while this radar installation cost a whopping 7 billion rubles. The radar also consumed a quarter of the power station's total power output. Check out the scale of this structure, it's absolutely massive. Many have climbed it, but this guy has a long way to go. This receiving radar is half a mile long and 146 meters high. This is about the same height as the Strata Tower and the Pan Peninsula, both having 48 floors. For those who don't know these buildings, here is the Eiffel Tower as a comparison. So this is the receiver. Information and videos of the transmitter are pretty hard to find. The transmitter is located to the northeast of the receiver. If you wanted to walk from the receiver to the transmitter, it would take you all day as it's 61 miles away, or about 36 miles in a straight line. The Soviets ignored rules about what frequencies could be used, and for 13 years annoyed everyone with a radio receiver in its path. This being aircraft, international broadcasting stations, and before the age of the internet, loads of people in their sheds trying to listen to these radio broadcasts. Must have been a right pain in the arse, especially with no internet. The radar receiver faces north, the most obvious route for any missiles heading from the US to the USSR, as it was then. But radar only works in straight lines, and if you haven't noticed, the Earth is round, which means the radar wouldn't have much of a range. The official information is that it's a backscatter radar, which provides warning of missile launches by detecting alterations in ionosphere propagation caused by the depletion of ions by missile exhaust plumes. Good luck with working all that out, but here I've done it for you. Surrounding the Earth is the ionosphere, which starts at about 50 miles going to about 350 miles up. The ionosphere, believe it or not, contains ions, which are particularly sensitive to certain radio waves. It is created by ultraviolet rays from sunlight that strikes the top of the Earth's atmosphere. While one layer of the ionosphere will absorb some radio signals, there is a higher layer which can bend some signals back down to Earth, making long-distance radio reception possible. The sea is especially good for making the radio waves reflect back up into the sky for another hop around the ionosphere. So the signals get even further around the globe. The higher radio waves reflect from a higher angle in the ionosphere, while the lower rays skim the ionosphere and travel further. Aim the radar too high and the rays pass through the ionosphere into space. As radio waves from the Duga 3 transmitter hit this vast area of the ionosphere itself reflects some of the signal back along its original path. This is called backscatter, and this is what's picked up by the Duga 3 radio receiver. When the signal makes it to land, this is the far superior signal return. Here is an example in slow motion of just one pulse travelling from the transmitter, hitting the Earth's surface, then travelling back around the globe to the receiver. You'll notice that after hitting the Earth, the signal bounces back into the sky to travel even further around the globe. This is why the receiver is so large, to pick up signals no matter how small from these bounces. To build up an image of what is happening a quarter around the globe requires the radar to transmit continuously. This is actually how fast it is, with the actual sound as picked up by radios on the frequency. People call this the Russian Woodpecker. I call it the Russian helicopter, but I've never actually heard a proper woodpecker before. What's actually shown in the control room from these radio signals may never be known, but after performing some research, the constant radar returns may build up a kind of graph like this. So this is what happens. The air does not cause any backscatter, but the ionosphere does. The return is fairly low. When the radar return from reflecting on land gets back to the receiver, this causes a spike. Combined with all the waves transmitted and received, the land can be plotted out in a very low resolution, which may appear to be completely useless. Perhaps useless for spying on people in their gardens, but not useless for detecting missiles. A missile return may appear like this. If the US did ever launch a ballistic missile towards the east, it would have to travel into space to eventually come down at its target. The missile launch would seriously disturb or deplete the ions in the ionosphere, possibly causing a blank spot which may be picked up like this. It may not look much to you, but for the Soviets monitoring the radar, it might be picked up as quickly as a giant porcupine in a nudist resort in the swimming pool during pool party time.
Oh, Liz, if I said there was something behind me with hundreds of pricks, would you believe me?
Oh, Frank, I thought it was you.
The missile's flight time will give the Soviets time to respond with something before it hit.
Hey, giggly wiggly. Oh, crap.
Thanks
So
for
that's
watching.
the Duga 3, and that's how it works. So that's really kind of a neat little video that I'll make sure and have the producer, who did such a great job on that, in the description section below. If you'd like to see more of his work, please subscribe to his channel. He does a lot of work there, and I think that's a great video about how the Russian woodpecker worked back in the day. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So we also have a neat section. This is Field Day week, for goodness sakes. People are supposed to go out on the road and have some fun and show their ham radio off to the world. And this is a time that you should have a good time. It really is. There's a wonderful ham. He is out of Southern California, He does a lot of antenna tests, and what I love about it is he does wire antenna tests. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to have a segment on how to build the best wire antenna I've ever used, which is the Z Sierra 6 Bravo Kilo Whiskey. It is a strange story about that. The ZS6 BKW was originally built by a man who was licensed in South Africa. Okay, he built it off of Louis Varney's G5R V antenna in England, but then the guy who is ZS6 BKW moves to the UK. And there you go. So he still lives there today, in his 70s. He's healthy. He's great. So we're going to talk about building that antenna, which I think is the very best multiband wire antenna that there is. Complete instructions, how to build it from beginning to end with spare parts you have around your house. Look for that show tomorrow. I hope you'll help, build something for field day, because that's a really good antenna to have with you in your arsenal. Just make sure you get up high enough, and I'll even show you a way that you can get up high enough. My friend Tommy from Oklahoma has a great video out. We'll talk about getting that thing up in the air a little bit. But before we do that, I'd like to show you an antenna that's rated, okay, for 6 to 160 meters. No joke. 6 to 160. This is the Alpha 6 to 160 J-pole antenna. Now, I want you to take a look at it. This is only working on a few bands. There'll be a break between the two because I just saved you 2 commercials, okay? I hate monetization. Anyway, but you saved the commercial time. I hope to show you something fun, and I hope you like it. This is a really good video about a wire antenna that you can use for field day coming up this weekend, and you can still get it in time if you order now.
Hello YouTube, thanks for tuning in again. In this video I'm going to show you the IMCOM 6 meter to 160 meter kit that I just received yesterday, so stay tuned for that and watch all the way to the end where I'll show you some more great antenna videos. I've got this end hooked up to the Alpha match from the Alpha Vertical Senior setup that I have. I've got it hooked up to a kind of a safety retaining fence at the top of a stairwell. And I've got the other end tied off down there to a antenna pole for the Orange County Transit Authority. It is isolated from the wire antenna, so I shouldn't have any interference or any other problems with it, but we shall see. I'm not overly high. I'm hoping I'm high enough to get some good contacts. It's a little hazy right now due to some fog, but this is my view from up here. For power, I'm going to be using the Goal Zero Yeti 1250 solar generator. That's correct. I'm about 15 miles south of Disneyland, the city of Tustin, trying out a new antenna by Alpha Antenna. It's a 60-foot IMCOM wire.
Yeah, okay. Well, I got Gary here in Las Vegas up by Nellis Air Force Base. I got you about a S7. Not super strong, but I'm picking you up.
I'll give you a signal report on the next go-around. I used to live in Summerlin myself.
Yeah. Well, I'm over here on the northeast side of the valley, near Nellis Air Force Base.
Okay, that's where I just saved you guys a gigantic commercial break, okay? So now you can say, thank you, Larry, for helping us by not seeing some stupid commercial on Botox. Okay, so Martin had a good question. How tall or long? And the maximum power. We'll run full power, and it's also like 60 feet long. So 60 foot long, and it will run full power. Now, before we go any further, let's take a look at EHAM. EHAM has reviewed this antenna, and I'm showing you something that I want to make sure you understand is good. People have reviewed it from all over the world, and this is what they think. okay? According to EHAM, this is a 4.9-star antenna and 44 reviews on this thing. This is on this antenna, the 166 meter J-pole. 4.9 out of 44 total reviews. Something like that to me is pretty good. So let's take a look at the rest of it. Let's look at him working some other bands, and we'll also take a look at the solar power system that he has that he's using. You might find it pretty interesting. It's built by a company called Goal Zero, as in GOAL 0. We'll come to that at the end of this. Okay, here's the second part, working 3 other frequencies using the alpha antenna J-pole, which is a 166 meter, 60 foot long antenna. There you go.
Okay, we got you. So we're in Albuquerque, New Mexico as we speak. I'm being a little bit west. Where are you located?
I'm in the city of Tustin, about 13 miles south of Disneyland.
Okay, I'm pretty much pointing out at you guys. Sounding good. Signal over.
I appreciate it. I'm doing a quickie video here at the local train station on a parking garage using a 60-foot wire for alpha antenna.
Yep, yeah, you're like an S8, sometime a 9, over.
Copy, I got you at 5959 as well.
Yeah, what's the name there?
Name here is Craig, Charlie, Romeo, Alpha, India, Golf.
Okay. Here is Kilowatt Bravo 5, Hotel Alpha. Net control today for the Manana Net. Handles Kermit, Kilowatt, Echo, Romeo, Mike, India, Tango. Well, thanks for checking in. Sounds like you got everything working good and get to go back to work, over.
I appreciate it. Can I get your call sign one more time? I got Kilo Bravo 5.
So my call is Kilowatt Bravo 5, Hotel Alpha.
Copy, Kilowatt Bravo 5, Hotel Alpha. I greatly appreciate it. You have a good one, Kilo Charlie 8 Juliet.
Okay, thanks, Craig. This is KB5HA. Any additional stations to the warm-up session of the Yana Net come now? Yeah, roger that. The call sign is Kilo Charlie 7, Tango Charlie Oscar. The city is Pasco, Papa Alpha Sierra Charlie Oscar in Washington on the Columbia River, about center of the state, over.
Copy that. I know that area well from my truck driving days. It's beautiful country up there. I greatly appreciate that you're coming down here also at 5'9".
Yeah, roger that. Thank you for the report. I thought you'd like to know another direction besides Albuquerque. Okay, I'll give it back to KB5HA Net Control. Break. Is that right? Well, I'm playing around with the beam here. Let me get the beam more down to Southern California. K1WHS, name is Dave. Dog Able Victor Easy, over.
Name here is Craig. I'm in the city of Tustin, about 15 miles south of Disneyland, County of Orange.
Oh, okay, very good. Yeah, that's... yeah, okay. Tustin, California. Yeah, I just worked a guy in Tucson, so I got Tucson and Tustin, over.
Yeah, Tustin, Tango Uniform Sierra, Tango India November, right next to Santa Ana and City of Irvine.
Oh, okay, Tustin. Okay, very good. I changed the spelling on it. Very good. And you're coming through good about a 5.7 or a 5.8. I'm running about 500 watts on solar power. I've got a couple of panels on the roof, and I'm running a K3 with a little KPA 500 solid state amp. And it does a great job on solar power. It doesn't really run the batteries too badly. I think if I had my 1500 watt output iMac triode amp on, I think I'd get about 10 minutes out of the batteries, but this works a lot better, over.
Yeah, you're hitting me 5.9. I'm running 100 watts on an ICOM IC7200. My power is a solar generator by Goal Zero, the Yeti 1250, and I'm using a 60-foot wire on an alpha antenna.
Oh, wow. That's, a lot of guys are running wires here today. You're the second or third that's been using a wire antenna. I'm running homebrew Yagis, 3 times 5 element, 3 times 5 element, and they're at 70, 50, and 30 feet, and they're sort of aimed in your direction there, Craig, over.
Yeah, my antenna, it's made by Alpha Antenna using their Alpha match and then the 60-foot Incom wire, and I'm sitting on top of a parking structure next to a train station. It's the best way around here to get away from all the RF noise.
Very good. Well, it sounds great. As I said, I turned the antenna a little bit, and you're 5 and 9 with the 100 watts of the wire. It sounds great, over.
Alrighty, I greatly appreciate the 5.9. See if yours has come up on the next go-around. You are actually my first main contact since getting licensed.
Well, that's great. That's great. And yeah, I'm not too much of an HFer. I'm on 10 meters, and I'm got a pretty good setup on 10 meters, and I'm also on 160 meters. But I'm on none of the other bands in between 80, 40, 30, 20, 15, 17. I'm not on any of those, so I'm not much of an HFer, but I do tend to spend a lot of time here on 10 and also on the higher bands. On all the VHF bands, I'm pretty active. So I'll say 73, Craig. I do want to get going here, and there were a couple other people calling, and I've got to get out of here at some point. All righty, good luck. K1WHS and main clear. Thank you. You're 5 and 5, QSL.
QSL 55, you are 5.9. Can I get your call sign one more time?
Okay, Papa India 4, Charlie Charlie. Papa India 4, Coca-Cola, QSL.
Copy. Papa India 4, Charlie Charlie. I'm 15 miles south of Disneyland in County of Orange, California.
Yeah, okay. Thank you much for short comment. 373, take care. Bye-bye. QRZ, Papa India 4, Charlie Charlie. Echo 7, Bravo November Romeo.
Well, we got some good contacts with the IMCOM wire attached to the alpha match from the...
Isn't that cool? That's great stuff. And I want to take a moment. I kind of cut off there at the end, and it wasn't to do, something mean to the dude. I just want to take a moment just to say thank you to him. Great stuff. Out of the city of Irvine, actually. He was doing the video from Tustin, but a very, very fine video. And I'll have his video down in the description section to watch more of his stuff. Does a lot of wire antenna videos. Wire antenna is my favorite. Gosh, I love wire antennas. They're just brilliant to use. But I did also want to show you a little bit of his solar power setup. Okay, we're going to do a section on solar power tomorrow about how I'm going to work my station on field day. However, there are other ways to do it. A great way is the way he has his set up. He's using something called the Goal Zero Yeti 150. All right, now this is one of the lower priced Yetis that they have, all right? I mean, these things can go up to $2,000, but this is working. And you can see it's working at 7,200. Let's take a look at this. Here's solar panel with that same radio. Now, this is the 500, the Yeti 500, the 150, same thing. It will come with the MPP-T controller, so everything will be there. The charge controller, all the stuff you need to make it work except the solar panel. So if you're into this and you want to go solar, you could be into it under $500 with the same setup. Let's take a look at this real quick from Goal Zero.
Meet the Yeti 500X, a lightweight portable power station designed to keep all your small to medium-sized devices and appliances charged. Designed to pack 20% more power into a 20% smaller and lighter shell than its predecessor, the 500X is perfect for longer camping trips, backyard parties, or on-the-go power in case of an emergency. At the heart of the Yeti 500X is the lithium-ion battery with a 505 watt-hour storage capacity. This will provide up to 8 charges on a laptop and up to 10 hours of runtime on portable fridges, TVs, and pellet grills. The Yeti weighs in at 12.9 pounds and is capable of powering a wide range of devices with multiple port options, including a powerful 300-watt 120-volt AC inverter, a 60-watt USB-C power delivery port. This represents the latest in fast charging technology and is more than 3 times faster than a standard USB-C port. Aside from being an output, it can also serve as an input, giving yet another way to charge your Yeti. There are 2 2.4 amp regulated USB ports, a standard regulated 18-watt USB-C port, a 6mm 12-volt port which pairs well with some of our lighting options, and a 12-volt car port with up to 10 amps of regulated output for increased runtime on 12-volt refrigerators with no additional adapters needed. To charge the Yeti, there are two 8mm charging ports. One is on the front panel and the other can be found on the rear. The included 60-watt wall charger will recharge the Yeti in roughly 8.5 hours, but the Yeti can be charged in as little as 3 hours with 180 watts of maximum input from solar or other fast-charging power supplies. Another addition to this Yeti is an MPPT charge controller, short for Maximum Power Point Tracking. By switching from the former PWM charge controller to MPPT, users will see a 30% more efficient charge from our line of solar panels. Check our website for recommended solar panel pairings based on your intended use, or feel free to contact our Solution Center. Whether you need it on the job site, in the backyard, or in your go bag when a natural disaster strikes, you can count on the Yeti 500X to power your laptops, phones, camera equipment, drones, 12-volt fridges, CPAPs, and more. For more information, visit goalzero.com or one of our amazing retail partners.
All right, I want to thank Craig again. Craig out of Irvine, California. Craig's call sign, by the way, if you want to see his QRZ page, here is Craig's QRZ page, and great work on YouTube. Really proud of Craig. Craig Steele, he's out of Irvine, California. His call sign, Whiskey Juliet 6 Foxtrot. Big ups for Craig out of Southern California. Good work, Craig. Keep it up, Craig. Yep, keep it up. He's got some great antenna videos. So if you like this one, take a look at some of his other stuff, because he doesn't just do this antenna, he does quite a few other ones. Let's take a look at that quick look at his solar system, right? The only ad that I think you need to add for this is going to be the battery, the solar charger, that solar panel, that's it. So if you want a 50 watt, it's going to run you $250. Okay, so you add $250 to the $200 price tag of the Yeti 150, and you've got yourself power that is consistently being recharged by the solar panels. This means you're not using a system that's using an MPP charge controller that is running solar panels to charge them up during the day to let you use your battery later on, right? Instead, you can use the radio while the solar power is continuing to charge up the battery. There's different ways to do this, just like there's different ways to make eggs, right? So if you're looking for something that's going to be easy, solar, easy, the Goal Zero 150, you just saw it work in his station, and he's using a 7200 ICOM with the Z100 tuner from LDG. $199.95 US is what the price that is right there. So there it is, the Goal Zero 150, a great addition to your Go kit for field day. And I mean, this is really something that you could, use if you don't have power available. So thanks again, Craig, for a great video there. It's always good to get stuff like that. So keep it up, my friends. We've got good stuff. We do, and we're grateful. We do. We'll show you another solar option tomorrow, as well as how to build your own ZS6 Bravo Kilo Whiskey antenna. I think the very best multiband antenna that there is. How to build it yourself with parts that you have at home. And most likely, if you don't have the parts, simple to get parts that you can find any home improvement store, from as small as like a True Value all the way up to the big box stores. They'll have everything you need to build this antenna except the parallel line, the window line, which you can get at any well, we shouldn't say hem fest, because those are kind of, not so much going on right now, I know, but they'll be back. But anyway, you can find them in ham radio retailers, and then you're fine. 450 ohm ladder line, and that's it. Really, it's about the only hard thing to find. The rest, you can build yourself. We'll show you how to do that tomorrow, as well as how I'm going to run solar during field day, and how I wish I could do it differently. If one more battery was there, it would be just super easy, but, it's the way it goes. I like to thank you so much for watching. Before we leave, I do want to say hellos from some folks that came in to say hello. First of all, all the way in from the German frontier, and he's so doggone here, and I'm so grateful to see him. In fact, this is funny. The show's history, this music goes for him. It's the Gunter music out of Germany. Delta Kilo 5, Oscar November Victor is here. He does great DX stuff, and he's really good. Out of Germany. Find him on YouTube. Search DK5ONV, and you'll have all of his stuff that he does on YouTube. Welcome, Gunter. Nice to see you. Also, welcome back. It's really, really a pleasure to see you back, Sean, from the UK. 2 Echo 0 Bravo Tango. Wow. X-Ray Bravo Tango, sorry. 2 Echo 0 X-Ray Bravo Tango. What a treat. IT guy, K6 Union India is here. Great to see you. Love your video on the MFJ 1026. Just ordered one to try and reduce noise. Oh, man, you'll love it. That is such a good product. You know, make sure that you put the antenna, if you know, you've got to know where the noise is coming from. So if you know the source of the noise, okay, put that phase antenna between your receive antenna and the source of that RFI. It is going to work brilliantly for you. You'll love the 1026. Plus, the 1026 advantage for noise cancellation over the 1025 is that the 1026 has a preamp on the phase antenna where the 1025 doesn't. So the 1026, man, that's the way to go. Well done. Yeah, you'll like that. It's a great antenna. It's a great way to cancel out your RFI. Al Gross is here. Al, welcome, buddy. It's great to see you. Welcome from Knoxville, Tennessee. Tuned in as soon as you're turning off. Murphy's Law, W Bravo 0, Alpha Lima. And we've got Jim here from Walnut Creek, California. Whoa, my goodness, Jim. One of the best CW operators in the world. Teaches classes on it, too. Find him on YouTube, W6JIM. Hit him up on QRZ if you'd like to take some CW classes. Jim is proficient at CW, but he's also a good teacher at it. That's hard to find. If you'd like to learn CW and like to learn at your own pace, Jim is the person to look for. His call sign again is Whiskey 6 Juliet India Mike. It's always an honor to have you, Jim. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the Northern California Bay Area. Well, okay. So interesting comment here from Al. I want to bring this up. Tomorrow's show. I'm not kidding you. I have this already done. It's already done. Murphy's Law, he said this, right? WB0AL, tuning in from Knoxville, Tennessee, just as you're turning off Murphy's Law. Guess what? Tomorrow, because I'm dumb enough to do this, I wanted to find out, okay, what is the origin, the history of Murphy's Law? Find out tomorrow on Ham Radio Live. I'm really excited to share the story with you. It will be fun. So tomorrow around 21 UTC, please join us. It's an honor and privilege to do this show for you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your subscribing. Thank you as well for donating and for the Patreon. If you want to hit me up to help out with the various equipment that we need to do the show, to keep them going, to help people to get into ham radio. We've got 18 so far licensed up, and we're very grateful for your help. You help buy that whole computer right there, you know, just to keep the show going, to help with audio gear and to make sure we can pay for production costs. That'd be great. You can either do so one of two ways. You could either do it by a PayPal with just a generous, kindly donation, little as $5 at CQ Ham Radio Live. It's just easy. CQHamRadioLive@gmail.com or Patreon. Find us there on Ham Radio Live. And don't forget, you also can find us on Facebook at Ham Radio Live, and you can find us on YouTube. Yeah, right here, as you are right now. But on Amazon Alexa, you can do it as well. If you've got Alexa View, just say, Alexa, play Ham Radio Live on YouTube. There we are. I did that. I was blown away. I was like, huh? Really? Okay. I'd like to tell you, it was all on purpose. Robert Varner, great comment. Murphy was my friend. That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, I want to thank you guys for joining us today. I sincerely mean that. If you would like to get an amateur radio and you're looking for a radio club to help find you a radio club that's near you, all right, contact the Wireless Institute of Australia. Now, you may not live in Australia. You think, why are you giving me an Australian? I'm in North America. Because they'll help you. just like any other groups do. So I switch them in and out. Wireless Institute of Australia can be found at www.wia.org. They're great mates, and they'll help you find a radio club that's near you, okay? And they're good people too, so they'll help you out. Until tomorrow at 21 UTC, my name's Larry. My call sign's Kilo 7 Hotel November. Thank you so much for coming today. It's really nice to see all of you. Hope you had a good time. I love this show. It's a lot of fun to show you the things that were here. And hopefully tomorrow, another decent show here talking about the build of the ZS6 BKW as well as solar power. We'll talk a little more about that. A different way to solar power your gear. Join us, won't you? Until tomorrow. God bless you all and have a wonderful Wednesday. Goodbye, everybody. Okay, before this goes any further, I want you to know this is a French channel going off the air. So this is a French sign-off about art. So this is a channel that's devoted to art from France, signing off. Now, I'm not responsible for what you're about to see, just in case you wondered. Okay, here you go.
Bonsoir.
Guten Abend. Guten Abend.
Bonsoir.
Some things you can't unsee. Remember this.
5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Auf Wiedersehen. Bis morgen um 19 Uhr. 12,
16,
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, Bonsoir, à demain, 19h. 12. Auf Wiedersehen. Bis morgen um 19 Uhr. 16, 17, 18.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Everything,